Super Earth, our home. Prosperity, liberty, democracy, our way of life. But freedom doesn't come free. Scenes like these are happening all over the galaxy right now. You could be next. Unless you make the most important decision of your life. Join the Helldivers. Be part of an elite peacekeeping force. See exotic new life forms. And spread managed democracy throughout the galaxy. Become a hero. Become a legend. Become a Helldiver. Super Earth is at war. Whilst the innocent civilians go about their daily lives of drinking Starbucks, gossiping at the water cooler and pretending they matter, the Helldivers are fighting back foes of freedom, and more importantly, undemocratic enemies of the state. There's currently 3 different factions in the game: the Terminids, Automatons, and Illuminate. First are the Terminids. These communist insects' main strategy is to try and overwhelm you with sheer numbers, with an emphasis on dealing melee damage to you, although few have ranged attacks. The main bulk of them are these incredibly weak small bugs. On their own they pose almost no threat, but usually come in large groups, and unless stopped can call in the rest of their family. Slightly stronger Terminids include the Pouncers, which leap towards you. Again, not a problem on their own, but they're great at slowing you down to allow the rest of the horde to reach you. Hive Guards are doing their best Zamazenta impression and have a tough shield as a face, but are super slow and can usually just be ignored. Shriekers and Stalkers are both unique as they spawn from specific places, Shriekers from tall trees and Stalkers from nests hidden in small mounds. Shriekers just fly now, and Stalkers have high damage and health and can even go invisible to enable stealth attacks. They are actually so notorious that Pixar based the character of Randall off of them in the film Monsters Inc. Chargers will attempt to ram you but can't turn very quickly, and following the Shigeru Miyamoto school of thought, have a glowing weak spot that you're meant to attack to do massive damage. The Bile Spewers have learned a lesson from the Clash of Clans cannon cart and can double as straight shooters or mortars. Lastly, the Impaler definitely came from the mind of a Japanese schoolgirl, and the Bile Titan is surprisingly fast for its size. But you don't care about any of that, you just want to know what the best weapons to bring are, so that even after your grueling 12-hour shift at McDonald's, listening to this all day, you can turn off your brain and still squeeze out some enjoyment. Sentries are very strong against bugs, as they can easily take out large numbers of the smaller ones, allowing you to save your ammo or stratagems for the stronger enemies.
Building a sentry.
Any sort of fire damage is great at roasting many bugs at once, or thoroughly cooking an armoured target still inside its shell. Light armour is the best way to go. If you're slowed down by heavy armour, you're just going to get overwhelmed, and melee just doesn't work against them. Bots are basically the opposite of the bugs. They are mostly ranged attackers and have much more noteworthy weak points, usually their heads or exhaust vents. The basic bot does little damage and can easily be headshot to kill them quickly. This goes for most of the weaker bots, meaning if you have a good aim, a lot of them can be trivialized. Devastators have tougher armor but the same exposed heads, and some versions have rockets they will launch at you. Scouts can be annoying if you don't have anything to pierce the armor, but if you're even slightly higher up than them, you can always try and give them a haircut instead. Berserkers are easy to take out from a distance but do a ton of damage up close, and are only really a problem if there's more than one. For bot strategy, the best thing you can have is good aim. The railgun, if mostly charged, can kill even the toughest bots in a couple of shots, and a basic marksman rifle can one-tap head most weaker bots. If you're a controller player or one of my Overwatch teammates, don't bother and just use the Quasar cannon instead. One strategy that is surprisingly effective is using a melee build. Any bot below a Hulk can be chain stunned with the electric spear, and paired with the riot shield, the little bots won't even be able to touch you. Just don't get complacent. Recently, a new faction, the Illuminate, was added, a species of aliens seemingly connected to the black hole created where Meridia used to be. The Illuminate are very different from the other two factions. The weakest troops are instead ex-humans, now called the Voteless. Little more than zombies, they wander the streets of what used to be their homes. Unlike the other factions where the weakest troop calls in reinforcements, with the Illuminate only the specialized Watcher enemy can do that. If it sees you for long enough, it'll call in UFOs that directly beam in enemies onto your location, and if it's watching you, it will let all the enemies know where you are. The weakest Illuminate themselves are the Overseers. The ground-based ones have a shield and a staff that can shoot explosive bolts, or be used as a melee weapon, dealing heavy knockback. The flying ones just shoot occasionally, and have way more health than they should. Lastly, there's the Harvester. If you've ever seen Monsters vs Aliens, you already know the deal. It has a shield you'll need to crack before doing damage to it, although once you do, its eye is quite vulnerable to attacks. It's only got a single attack, that being the world-cutting slash, but if you get hit by it for more than a second, it's Goge over for you. For the Illuminate, you need plenty of heavy armor piercing, as all of them except the Voteless have at least medium armor, and for the Voteless the spear is pretty good, or turrets to take out large groups of them. However, in the Illuminate update, the thing I was most excited for were the newly added cars. They handle about as well as Sherbet Land, the tires seem to disappear every 5 minutes, and they flip so much I think I'm playing hill climb racing. But none of that beats how fun it is to pretend I'm Ryan Gosling if he was a Helldiver. Now we aren't fighting a war on 3 fronts for no reason. The bugs are disgusting monsters who could never understand ideas like freedom. The Illuminate turned innocent civilians into mindless husks, and the bots literally have red eyes to show how evil they are. And in turn, the Helldivers aren't waging war by simply eliminating as many enemies as possible. Instead, we're sent on specific missions that aid the war effort in different ways. Eliminating bot fabricators or bug nests to reduce their numbers are common, but there's also objectives such as extracting E710 to fuel the ships, rescuing trapped civilians, and making sure the Super Earth flag is always flying tall and proud. In Helldivers 2, more often than not, you'll be playing with up to 3 others, and if you decide to work together with them or not is entirely up to you. There is a voice chat, but since everyone's mic sounds like this, often there's no point in using it. So, if you love democracy, shooting things, or just large explosions, give Helldivers 2 a go. I've been playing it for a while now and it's pretty fun. They add new content regularly as well to stop the game feeling old. As always, thanks for watching and please like and subscribe if you liked the video.